Why Not? A queer podcast.
Thank you to our sponsor, Pineapple Healthcare, an award-winning primary care clinic right here in Orlando.
Pineapple Healthcare offers mental health counseling, HIV, STI testing and treatment, and specializes in care for the LGBTQ plus community.
Open Monday through Saturday. Call today at 407-553-6336 and schedule your appointment.
Pineapple Healthcare. Better together.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Todd.
And I'm Jeremy Williams, and you're listening to Wine,
Why Not? A queer podcast.
episode 135.
Haven't done that in a while. It needed a
We
little kick. Why Not has wings.
Right off the bat, as you can see, if you're watching the video, if you're listening to this, you have no idea. But if you're watching the video of this, my background has changed. I have moved from the, we'll say the office space in the living room to the kitchen. So the
Such a
the
large
router,
New York City apartment.
I know. I've moved into the East Wing. So just a heads up, because I haven't tested it yet in the kitchen. The router for our internet is in the bedroom because they want it. It said when you get the thing in the mail, it says put it near an open window or like a window area because you get a better signal. So I'm further away from it. So hopefully it's still a strong enough signal. I mean, it's not a big apartment. I can't imagine that it would mess with the signal.
Yeah, like I think the range on that's more than 4 feet. No. What if you put it near one of the windows in your living room and you're like, I don't understand. I put it near a window and I'm not getting signal.
Damn. For those who don't know, my living room windows are blocked by a brick wall. I have no light in my living room. No natural light.
I got to tell you, we have a staff member who just got back to work today, has had COVID for the last couple of days and has been out.
Ooh.
And I feel like I have COVID brain. So I'm going to sound real dumb the whole podcast because I'm just exhausted maybe. And I just can't, like, words aren't, like, things, memory, not working. So we'll see how it
not
goes.
Wording. Did everybody get tested? Y'all good? Y'all safe?
You know what? I think we stopped doing that.
All right.
We're like, oh, you had it? Okay. Well, see, the thing is I was away. And so when it hit was on Wednesday and I was in a different city. So,
Gotcha.
you know, when I came back, it was fine. But anyway, so 135, we'll get into all the really cool stuff we've been up to, but let's throw out some 135 facts.
You use that word fun very loosely, particularly when it comes to this week's facts, because there weren't a whole lot.
I also use it loosely when I talk about my week later on.
Yeah. I will say this has been I was putting the notes together for what I did this week, and I was like, wow, I really didn't do a whole lot. This is going to be a very boring, and people are going to go away from this podcast being like, if he's just going to sit on his couch all day, why the fuck did he move to New York? Because that's what I did most week. I just sat on my couch, but we'll get to it.
Hey, every now and then you need an Orlando week.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Exactly. So I have a couple of math facts. That's how boring the number 135 is. I try to stay away from math facts, but that's all I seem to have. So 135 is a Harshad number and a Zuckerman number. So a Harshad number means it is divisible by the sum of its digits. So 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 9, and not 135 divided by 9 is 15.
You sound like you're in the movie Clue. 1
what
plus 2
makes
plus
it
2 plus 1.
What makes it a Zuckerman number is that same digit multiplied 1 times 3 times 5 is 15, and 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9. When you divide 135 by 15, you get 9, making it a Zuckerman number. Like I said, math facts are not cool or fun.
There's one math nerd that listens to our podcast that feels seen right now.
Yeah. He's like, oh, God, that's it. Give me another math fact.
This is for you, Sheldon.
So a couple of things I thought were interesting. In numerology, 135 is considered a number that is a call to action number, symbolizing creativity, manifestation, and positive change. So maybe some of that will come out in the podcast. In astrology, 135 degrees separating two planets is called a sesquiquadrate, which is a minor aspect in astrology that creates a sense of inner conflict, stubbornness, and a struggle for balance, which seems in conflict with numerology. So
do you ever, like, when you have a word that's really long, Do you ever go to like the interwebs and type in the word and say, how do you pronounce this before we
It's
record?
funny you say that. I did that exact thing with this word.
Oh, really? Is that what it
Yeah.
is then?
Yeah, and it is. Oh, let me go back to it. Sesquiquadrate
Ah,
is how
very
you
good.
say it. Sesquiquadrate.
I
It
do that
sounds
with
Italian.
everything because I
Sesquiquadrate.
tease you a lot about pronunciation of certain
Yeah,
names and stuff.
yeah.
So I make sure every time I listen to it for like 10 minutes so I get it.
It's good. It's good. I should probably do that more often.
No. You be you. Don't listen to me.
I won't.
Why start now?
I say I will, but I'm not going to.
No one ever quit Watermark to start listening to me.
These last couple are kind of interesting. I don't get this next one, but I'm not an online gamer. But in the online gaming community, in the chat, they'll write 135 and it's slang, meaning let's go. And according to Google, it's because the numbers 1, 3, and 5 resemble the letters L, E, and S. But even that is not all the letters of let's go. So I don't understand why it's 135, but I'm not an online gamer, so
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't.
My favorite form of let's go, which by the way, I hate that phrase. And I think I hate it because of Big Brother, because it's what people say all the time in Big Brother. But now it's like everywhere. I did, but I still remember like the person winning and being like, let's go. I'm like, where are you going? And now I watch the Little League World Series because I like baseball of all forms. I don't care.
Sure.
Like they even yell it all the time after every play. Let's go! Everybody gets a hit. Let's go.
I see it on TikTok a lot. I see it on TikTok a lot. That kids just like yelling, "Let's go!" for everything.
Did you put TikTok into that pronunciation? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I can't believe that it's moved beyond sports. Sorry, I just had to. Come on, low hanging fruit. It was funny. But like it's moved into the nerddom world. So good for you, 135ers.
Second to last 135 I have. The sound intensity of 135 decibels is considered the threshold for pain for the human ear.
Huh.
Yeah.
That sounds like something torturous. Like, did you get that on the dark web?
No, the Google, which is the dark web, depending on who you talk to.
Depending.
And then my last one is, of course, the Pokemon.
Finish it.
Pokemon 135 is Jolteon. And that is the electric evolution of Eevee.
I don't know what Caitlin was just doing.
Yeah, Caitlin was just headbanging.
One of these days we'll figure out a way to we'll figure out a way to get Caitlin's video to show up from time to time, and she's just like, I don't know.
She's very excited.
Oh, you know what it is? You ever see Can't Buy Me Love? That was a really good movie. Listen, even if you're young, you should watch this movie. Can't Buy Me Love with Patrick Dempsey when he was a kid. There was a dance that he learned or taught people to do, and it was like, so that's the dance she was doing.
Interesting.
I'm sure that everybody listening loved to watch that because they're listening.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, for those who are listening, he's shaking his. He kind of looks like Kermit. You know when Kermit gets excited, he goes. That's kind of what he looked like.
That would be a way better analogy. More people would probably understand that. All right.
And then so Jolteon, as I said, the electric evolution of Eevee, who was the Pokemon 2 ago, concentrates the weak electric charges emitted by its cells and launches a wicked lightning bolt. That's from the Pokemon website. I did find this interesting. Jolteon's weakness, the ground.
All electric types.
So apparently, for electricity to work, you can't have your feet on the ground.
Huh.
So there you go.
I felt like for some reason, like Caitlin needs to yell out 135 when you finish that.
135.
Let's go.
135. I'm gonna do that all. When I play softball this weekend and I get a hit. Actually, tomorrow night we play, and I'm gonna get a hit tomorrow night. And when I get on first base, I'm gonna yell 135, and I'm gonna see what nerd.
There's gonna be one online nerd be like, "Yeah, do it."
Maybe I'll bring Caitlin with me so she can curb it out when I get on first date.
Our one online gaming nerd.
I think I used to date an online gaming nerd.
Did you?
He hid that shit from me, though. I'm just kidding.
Ugh.
He did not hide it from me. He played the game all the time. Hey, can you carry the grocery in? No, I'm playing a game. Can you cook? No, I'm playing the... No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, this is why I'm going to therapy. I'm okay. So, I got a couple of 135s. You want to hear?
Sure.
This one I actually found very interesting. 135 degrees is the measurement of the exterior angle. I should have put that in the pronunciation thing. It's the measurement of an exterior angle of a regular octagon.
Huh.
Fascinating.
I mean,
this, just so I could write more things down, I added this. STS-135 is the final NASA space shuttle mission, which was Atlantis in July of 2011.
oh.
You already said the numerology one. Here's my favorite, second favorite. Mars Assorted Candy Party Size Variety Pack has 135 individually wrapped pieces of fruity candies. Don't you think they should sponsor us? We should be sponsored by Fruity Candy.
Absolutely.
But it should just say Fruity Candy. Look, I said Mars 3 times now. Send me some candy. And please don't send me your lawyers.
Which fruity candy does Mars make? Because they're traditionally chocolate.
My favorite non-chocolate candy, Skittles and Starburst.
I did not know both of those were Mars. All right, you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
That's
and
a fun fact.
and lifesavers. So here we go. So I decided to do something new because these facts weren't doing it for me. So I decided to look up what the 135th episode of Friends was about. Do you know?
135th?
135th episode of Friends, and it's an iconic one. I'll give you some hints if you want.
Hold on, I'm doing the math.
Okay.
So,
you don't need hints. You do the math. I'll grab another drink. Hold, please.
135 would be season 5, I think. Let's see. Hold on, 135 might be season 6 because they did.
I'm gonna confirm that you're right. When you get it right, I'll confirm.
Okay.
Season 6.
Because they do 24 episodes a season. So 24 times 5, that's 121. So we're looking at mid-season 6.
Yeah, mid-season. It's what do you think? There's 22 to 26 episodes in a season.
They do 24 episodes a season.
Okay, this is episode 11. Season. It's season 6, episode 11.
Okay, so this would have been.
If you get this right, I'm literally gonna shit right here.
This would have been so season 7 is the planning of the wedding. So season 6 was the engagements.
I'm gonna stop you right there. It has nothing to do with the wedding.
Right. No. I'm trying to pinpoint in the season.
Gotcha.
What's going on? Is this the pivot episode?
No, but that's a good one. That is it. That is an iconic one, but this one is as iconic. I'll tell you what it's. I'm not going to say what the name of it is.
Sure.
But I'll give you a hint that people call it the Pottery Barn episode.
Oh, what else? Because Phoebe. God. All I remember from that episode is Phoebe and Rachel with the Pottery Barn. They were decorating the
it's called the one with the apothecary table. And Rachel wanted to decorate everything with stuff from Pottery Barn, and Phoebe was dead set against it.
Like
so she got a coffee table from there, and then said it was like some ancient thing, and she loved it. But then Ross got one too, and so Rachel made Ross cover his and lie about it all.
Yes. With sheets that she told Phoebe he got from the flea market for 25 cents.
Now, there are 280 episodes of Friends, so we will talk about what Friends episode it is going on. All right, so here we are. we're gonna do this still because as long as I can look ahead and see like you might get one or two of them, we're gonna keep doing this
Okay.
100. So the 135th, you're not gonna get this one, but maybe. 135th greatest director of all time. No, greatest film. We're going to do film first because you're going to guess the director. The greatest film of all time. I'm going to tell you it was directed. It's a 1972 film directed by Werner Herzog. And he also directed Jack Reacher, which I was surprised to find out. So I don't know if you know him well enough to know what other movie he's really, really well known for other than Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher, the one that Tom Cruise was in?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That was like in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, he's like
this man didn't direct anything between.
Oh no, he directed other. Oh, do you want other hints?
I thought you were saying those were the only two movies he directed. No. And like, the hell was he doing for 30 years?
No, and like he did like TV shows too. I think like that's why I thought, well, maybe he's well enough. Well,
the
well
name sounds familiar, but I can't really place him with a film.
Aguirre, The Wrath of God.
That's right. The Wrath of God. As directed by Herzog.
Look, that's a movie I see every day of my fucking life. Am I right? All right, here we go. 135th greatest director of all time. I just don't know which ones to go with because I don't want you to get it right off the bat. Road to Perdition. That's a lot of pressure, isn't it, Caitlin? What if he doesn't get it? Ah, shit. I went with the most obscure movie I could think of, and you got it right away.
Road to Perdition isn't obscure. That's Paul Newman and Tom Hanks. That's an amazing film based on a graphic novel, actually.
Should I have started with Jarhead?
No, because I knew he directed Jarhead.
Skyfall?
He directed Skyfall and the following the James Bond movies after that. He's a very famous director. He did American Beauty. You want to know?
Yeah, that's what I was going to end with if you didn't get them, because I figured he'll at least know that because it won an Academy Award for some reason. What did American Beauty beat? I feel like it shouldn't have beat what it
that
beat.
Would have been 99. So I believe American Beauty beat The Sixth Sense, The Green Mile.
Oh, The Sixth Sense was good. Should have won.
I forget what other movies were nominated, but that was the year Sixth Sense and Green Mile both won, but were both nominated.
Well, good job. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Road to Perdition. That's the other ones are way more famous than Road.
I believe it's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's a movie where Tom Hanks, a rare occasion where he plays a morally ambiguous guy.
I mean, let's talk about Tom Hanks for a second. Have you seen? We've talked about Wes Anderson movies, right? Neither of us are fans.
Yes, I'm not a fan, and he's played small parts in the last couple of Wes Anderson.
Yeah, and I'm like, how weird is it that you're gonna make a movie that Tom Hanks is gonna be in, and he's not in the preview?
Yeah.
He's
in
not
fact,
in the
last
preview
two that he's been in, he's only in about 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, but then they definitely throw his name up there to be like, oh, it's got Tom Hanks in it. The Phoenician, Jen is like, I want to watch that, and I'm like, no. Over my dead body. Caitlin will go see it with you, Jen. I know you're listening. Now, it's probably like out of the theaters by now because you're about 3 or 4 episodes behind.
It's on Peacock.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. You could still go see it. Air pop your 0 point popcorn. Caitlin's on the way.
I was going through the streaming services and I came across it on Peacock and I was like, should I watch it? And I was like, no, not today.
It's filmed in a desert. What's there to watch? Isn't everything he makes filmed in a desert? Anyway, I have never watched one. I should probably watch one before I bitch about them, right?
I mean, you could. I've watched a few and I don't care for any of them.
No, well, I don't need to. Is it Owen Wilson? Is that what did it in?
Owen Wilson's in a bunch of them, yeah.
But is that what ruins it for you?
Oh, no, I don't mind Owen Wilson.
Oh, okay. I don't either. I just had a conversation with somebody. I had a conversation with somebody over the weekend, and they do not like. They're like Disney fanatics, but they don't like Cars because they don't like Owen Wilson. And I was like, I think you don't like Cars because you're.
I always find it weird when people are like, "Oh, I don't like this movie because of the actor."
Anyway, that's what we're gonna. Yeah,
if it's just the
I'm gonna
voice.
guess that the connection from the kitchen to the other room. This is gonna make for a really awesome podcast because somebody's internet connection is not working
What?
really well. But what's gonna happen is they're gonna upload like normal, and then they're gonna mash together. We're gonna just seem like we're talking over each other. What were you saying?
I don't remember now.
You were probably making fun of.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
Ryan.
No, I was
Because
saying I
of
find
his
it
dislike for
weird.
cars.
Oh, was that Ryan? No, I find it weird
Yeah.
when somebody says I don't like an actor, so I don't see the movie. But if it's like a voice over, like you hate the actor that much that the sound of their voice annoys you, I find that odd. Like you don't have to look at the person; he's a freaking giant red car in the movie. You're not looking at his face. It makes no sense to me.
What, do you think it's Owen Wilson's face that's the problem?
I mean, if it is it his voice, I'd be interested
Yeah, I
to know
don't
what
know.
it is specifically about Owen Wilson he doesn't like.
What a great research project for me to do is to now go back at every animated movie that I loved and find out if Laura Dern played any of the characters. And then I'll be like,
I bet
damn
she
it, I
did."
love Laura Dern. I did it. It's like The Voice, you know, but for movies.
I hear she sings all the backing vocals for every Air Supply song. Sorry
You know,
to ruin that for you.
You can make fun of me all you want, but you keep Air Supply's name out of your motherfucking mouth. Anyway, so tell me about your week. I'm excited because I feel like this is going to be a little bit of show and tell, which will suck if you're just listening. But I promise you the videos will be available soon, and you can watch.
I'll be honest, it was a very light week as far as interesting things. I did, however, in the mail, finally get we're going to cover up the address, my New York State driver's license, even though I don't own a car. It's laminated. I am an official New Yorker. And there were two reasons why the first thing I did when I got here is I made an appointment to go to the DMV for two specific reasons. First, come November, I want to be able to vote in the mayoral race. I don't want to sway the votes of any of our New York listeners, so I won't say who I'm voting for. But I am voting for the young, charismatic one. That's right, Como. I'm just kidding.
Is he running as an independent?
Yeah, Como's running as an independent this go around. And the other two are running as Democrats. There's a Republican running, but there is no way in hell the Republican's going to win. I don't even know what his name is. But along with that, in the mail, the same day actually that I got that in the mail, I got my press pass with my face on it. Isn't that pretty?
That's
this
exciting.
is a press pass I'm a local news reporter for the Daily Planet. Yeah,
is that what it
work with
says?
Superman. Yeah, I work with Superman. That's right.
I
Lois
just want to
Lane,
tell
me,
you.
and Clark Kent.
I want to tell you something. For a minute, I was so excited for you. And then instantly, I'm so sad for you.
I'm not. Because when you wear this, and I will not tell you how I learned this, but I did learn this, people don't read press passes, and many people thought it was real.
I know they don't. For sure they don't. Because there's like a book full of BS on our press passes, and nobody... There's just a thing on there that says, I have the right to take your photo. Like, okay. Like, is that real? I don't even know.
But yeah,
put it on a card and people will believe you.
Yeah. I'm going to go around town
I see your
and see
license
how many
again, by the way?
I can get done.
I just want to see it again because your picture was fuzzy for me the last time.
It's black.
Yay!
I will say, here you go. I will say that Caitlin keeps leaning in. I will say I was surprised because it's all black and white. It's not as colorful as a Florida driver's license. Florida's driver's license are very colorful and vivid.
Well, that's because life in Florida is very bleak, so you have to have some color somewhere. Life in New York City is probably like, for those who get out of their apartment, it's probably really vibrant.
It is. It is. And I got out a couple of times this week.
I'm just teasing. I know you
One
do.
thing that I really enjoyed this week, I went several times, is I found a Barnes and Noble on the Upper West Side that's not too far from here. It's probably about 20 blocks. But it's the most amazing Barnes and Noble. It's 3 stories, and it is just, it's like a labyrinth when you go through there. And the cafe, for those who go to Barnes and Noble, they're usually right there when you go to the entrance. They're on the front of the right. The cafe's on the 3rd floor, all the way in the corner. So you have to like make your way through this labyrinth of bookcases. And right past, before you get to the cafe, is the Lego area, because Barnes and Noble sells a bunch of Lego. So that's how they get me. I was heading to the cafe, and I ended up buying several Lego sets that I probably shouldn't have and couldn't afford, but I bought them anyway.
Have you did you go like to the 3rd floor bathroom?
I did. And it's fantastic.
Is it? I was just making that up.
No, I'm not even lying. It's coded. So you have to, because it's for only for customers only.
Did you take your purple hanky? I'm just kidding. I'm trying to make this a sexual joke. It's not working.
Oh, I get you.
Like you're gonna be like, oh, that was actually really awesome, and I'm like, oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it was a nice bathroom. And we've had this conversation. I'm keeping a list of really good public bathrooms, and the 3rd floor Barnes and Noble bathroom, beautiful. The only problem is because it's a code.
You got to buy something.
The code appears at the bottom of your receipt when you buy something. So just go get a coffee or a little candy bar or something. You get the code, and they're definitely good sitting bathrooms.
There was a, and by sitting he means shitting.
That's exactly what I mean. Yes.
There's a coffee place or something. Maybe it was a Wawa or 7-Eleven or something in like the middle of town square at Madison, Wisconsin, and we went there, and there were signs that were like, or you go to if you walk to the bathroom, it's like got a code panel on it. So you're like, oh, you need a code. Yeah. You got to go buy something to use it. We waited in line forever, bought something, and we asked for the code, and they looked at us like we were stupid. They were like, just open the door. Wasted money. Anyway, so have you been to Chicago?
Just the airport.
Oh, there's a Starbucks in Chicago that's a lot like this Barnes & Noble you're talking about. Like, it's really tall. It's like levels and levels tall. And one level is a bar, and they serve like Starbucks espresso martinis and stuff like that. I only know this because Dylan went by himself when we were in Chicago recently, and was sending me pictures. So that's cool.
Nice. But yeah, beautiful Barnes & Noble. Absolutely loved it. Went there several times this week. Spent a lot of time flipping through Netflix, and there were 2 things that I learned about Netflix that I think you should check out. First, there's a Jussie Smollett documentary.
You love him.
First of all, yes, there is a photograph on my Facebook of me and him at an event together. We don't even know each other. We just took the photo.
You haven't taken it down?
No. What?
You will not be erased.
Listen. I am a celebrity whore. I love meeting celebrities, and even the bad ones. There's a picture of me and Paula Deen on my Facebook that I'm not taking down.
Fat Paula Deen?
No. In fact, I met her when I lived in Tampa when it was for her Beat the Fat cookbook, where she had all the recipes, but like the fat-free versions.
That sounds like it could have been a prize at the last Third Thursday.
Yeah.
It was at Fair Villa.
So I will say, as somebody who was working at Watermark when all this was going on, and the details of the case that were released, if you watch the documentary, part of me left the documentary thinking maybe he didn't fake this. There is some evidence that was left out that the media didn't cover that was in the case that is what led the Illinois Supreme Court to overturn his conviction. And it was like this smear campaign, according to the documentary, that the Chicago PD did on him. And there was some evidence that I was like, I didn't know about that. And it kind of makes me think that maybe they framed him. But watch it. And then tell me what you think. Because I went into this documentary thinking Jussie Smollett is a criminal. And I left it thinking, that poor man.
Really?
What they did to him, yes.
Now, the fact that Jesse Smollett is very handsome, did that play any part in your...
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Beautiful people don't do bad things.
Like, like if it was Sheldon's best friend from, The Big Bang Theory, you'd probably be like, no, he did it. He lied.
Lock him up. The other thing that I thought was interesting is Netflix released recommendations based on your astrological sign. So if you go on there, it has it broken down by astrological signs of what they think you would like. And I skimmed through them really quick. Now, you're a Capricorn, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Is it Working Girl? Is that the number one?
No, it's a lot of procedurals and reality shows. And I was like, that's interesting. And then mine was a lot of stand-up comedians and fantasy sci-fi TV shows. And I was like, oh, maybe they're onto something here. So all I'm saying is, listeners, if you have Netflix, go to the Zodiac listing, look up your sign, and see if the show's aligned. Because there was a lot of stuff on there it suggested to me. And I was like, you know what? I think you're right. I might like that. So that's what I did all week.
Wasn't there a big Zodiac sign shakeup a few years ago when they were like, Pluto's not a planet and your sign's not your sign? And then I got really sad because, my sign is tattooed on me.
It was something about, because of the alignment of the stars or some shit, that there was actually 13 Zodiac signs and not 12, and people lost their shit. I don't know. I don't follow it close enough. I just follow it close enough to know what I should be watching on Netflix.
Don't you think like somebody should have figured that out a long time ago? If they're going to dish out, this is what your life is like. But you know how like some people were like, this is my sign, but I don't really fit this. And then it's like, but that's probably why. Anyway, mine stayed the same. So I'm legit Capricorn. So it's
I'm a legit Gemini. So
right on.
Rock on, Geminis. The other thing, and this is still in the preliminary. Okay, calm down, Kermit. This is still in the preliminaries, but I am still unemployed. So I was sitting and talking with Chris. I met with a couple of editors out here, and I'm going to do some freelance writing.
Awesome.
But I've been trying to figure out what it is that I want to do with my life. And Chris was like, well, what do you like doing? And I was like, I like sitting around watching TV and building Lego. So he says, we'll do something with that. So there is a company called Bricks and Minifigs, and they deal in the second market Lego set. So you've got Lego stores who do Lego, and then like Barnes & Noble and Target, they sell Lego, like brand new sets that you would get through Lego. But there's a very a good return on second market Lego sets. So the resale value on them are really good. So there's these stores. There's a couple of different ones, but Bricks and Minifigs is probably the biggest one that sells secondhand Legos. Like you sell pieces and sets and all that kind of stuff. And there is no second market Lego stores on the entire island of Manhattan. So I reached out to them, and we are meeting this week to talk about.
I love that now it's so suspenseful.
That was the biggest cliffhanger.
Yeah, I know. We're like ending this podcast on a cliffhanger. I would love to tell you about my week.
Yes, tell me about your week, Rick.
All right. So we recorded the last episode early, correct? Because I had to fly to Chicago.
That's right. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I went to the LMA, the Local Media Association conference, which was in Chicago, and I'll get to the conference in a second. But I want to tell you, I flew American Airlines this time. I think you'll remember the last time I went somewhere, I flew on Frontier. Where'd I go? New York?
Yes.
Yeah. Dylan and I went to New York and stayed at the Yotel Hotel, Holiday Inn. None of that is true. So I flew American Airlines, and I learned this one thing: I will never fly Frontier again.
Yeah.
No offense.
I've
it's
never
just
flown
not my
Frontier.
thing.
I've just heard bad things about Frontier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's bad, right? It serves a purpose for people. If you travel with a carry-on and you don't care about time, so you don't want sodas and all this kind of stuff, it's fine. But I will notice, like, when I went to check in during a very busy time, there were 2 people working at the Frontier counter, and there was a huge line of people trying to check a bag. When I flew American Airlines, there were 5 people and there was no one in line. I think that tells you everything you need to know. So anyway, it's just not the airline for me. But I want to talk to you about local media association just for a second. Like, man, they put on a good conference. I don't, like you went to the ANN conference, right? That's also a really good conference. But they're the ones I like. Now, I'm not going to trash other conferences, but I'm going to say there is one like major gay conference where when you go there, all of the seminars that you go to are about pitching ways for you to spend money on something. And these two conferences that I just talked about, they really are there to help newspapers succeed, and they give really useful information. But I just want to tell you about a couple of sessions because I thought it was kind of cool. There was one session where it was all the people in the session together, and it's this big room, and it's called Table Talks, and they gave you 10 topics. And so you pick 3 of the topics that you want to talk about the most, and you spend 20 minutes at those tables. So, but they were really interesting things. Some were like revenue generating ideas. I'll just tell you the ones I picked because I'm transparent and I don't care. The first one I went to was about burnout. It was like how to overcome burnout. And it was fascinating. Basically, the outcome is that everybody said I should go to therapy, which you were so right. I should. Everyone should. But it's just kind of cool. So there was like a team, like a leader at each table that sort of drove the conversation. I was thinking it was going to be like, here are great ideas on how to avoid this. But it was basically like, who suffers from burnout and what should you do and that sort of a thing. And it was fun to talk about the fact that, I work for a gay newspaper in Florida, and that they're literally trying to erase us, like to paint over us, which is literally happening. And it's made national news. Have you heard about it? Right, they painted the post sidewalk.
Have you seen this? Yeah, actually, as I was walking to get my
that's me painting
my Verizon router to move it closer to my computer, it was on CNN. They were talking about it.
Yeah,
and then I said, "Not in this house," and I unplugged my router and it went away. No, I'm just kidding. It did go away, but it's because there was no signal.
It's quite the scene here in Florida, and and it's interesting, like how people are rolling over, but the citizens are like, no. And it's like, it's interesting. Like, this is the thing that brought people out en masse. Like, but it's great. It's great that they are. So anyway, and I made this comment. I was like, sometimes it's just like, you got to wonder what it would be like to live in a state where your state cared about you. And everybody was like, they're like, you must stay and fight. And it was really kind of cool. But, and then somebody, like the person leading it, she handed me her card and she's like, call me anytime. Call me and so it's really kind of cool. So that was a cool one. The other ones, there was one about podcasts and like, hey, you want to do a podcast? What should you do a podcast for? And I thought, this will be great to get other ideas. It turns out that most of that 20 minutes was people asking me questions about this podcast, which was great. Because it was kind of like, this is what
for those who are listening, welcome.
Yeah, I was just telling Caitlin, I was like, I talked about this podcast so much at this conference that I feel bad that we're having so many shitty problems with recording it, because I'm hoping that we got some people in. Like, everybody loved the idea and thought it was really cool. And I was just like, the best advice I can give you is to start recording. Just hit record. Yeah. I was like, listen to our first episode. It sucked, and then you just know you just got to record it and it gets better until you hit episode 135, and then you run into all kinds of technical problems. But that was cool. And then the last one that I went to, and this is some fascinating shit, Jeremy. I know that when you worked here, there was a lot of like conversation and resistance to AI. And I think that's because when people think about a newsroom using AI, like immediately everybody's brain jumps to AI is going to write articles. No one will ever say that is not what we're using it for. But it is fascinating, the things that I learned. In fact, I came back here and immediately created an AI version of me, and then plugged in like one of those pitch decks for philanthropy that we did, and it's me giving a whole speech about why people should, and it is me, but it's not me. Really, really weird.
That's weird. It's funny you did that, because I too embraced AI this week. And I was playing on ChatGPT and having him make different photos, and it made me and Chris as claymation characters.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I too enjoyed a little bit of AI this weekend.
I'm now going to ask Ryan to make a claymation version of you and Chris.
I
Has
would
the
love
Ryan
to
video
compare
come out
them.
yet? Has the Ryan video been shared yet? There's apparently a video where all we do is talk about Ryan on the podcast. And it's funny because like we'll say his name and then like a picture of him will pop up and then somebody else says his name and another picture pops up and it's just eventually the whole screen is just Ryan's because apparently on the last podcast we said his name a lot. Anyway,
Yeah.
But no, it's just there's so many things. So you know that calendar that I do every year, like
I
that's
sure
just
do
very.
remember that.
It's very I mean the formatting is like forever. It takes me like a week to do it and I have to like color coordinate everything and then go in and change like the issue number for every issue of the year and all this kind of stuff. I plugged that thing into a paid version of ChatGPT and I said follow this formatting and make me a calendar for 2026 and in 10 minutes it was done. And now I have to of course go back and like check everything and check the dates and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are so many things that it can do that makes life so much easier, and I love those things about it. So I will have more advice. I'm just saying, embrace this idea. Like I use it all the time. Every email I send now, I tell it to check it for errors or make it sound a certain way. Like sometimes I'm a little abrasive in emails. Like I don't even say hi sometimes. I'm just like, get this done. So I just put it in and say, hey, make this friendly yet professional. Love it. Anyway, some highlights of the conference.
Yes.
They gave me a ticket to see the Cubs play. So I went to Wrigley Field and watched the Cubs play. It was awesome. It reminded me, see, I'm such a fan of baseball, right? And so it reminded me of the movie A League of Their Own. It was like Wrigley Field it just looks old. I mean, it's an old field. And so it's like, I mean, it's got all this character and it's fantastic. And to just be there was cool. I've gone to a lot of Rays games and I've been to a Rays game like
Not
on a
as cool.
Friday. Well, I went like on I like baseball, so it was really cool. And plus, I get really good seats because I pay for them. We were sitting way up in like section 200s, but it was still cool. Because there's that infamous scoreboard and the ivory wall and all that. I mean, I don't know if you know that, but those are iconic.
Yeah,
of Wrigley
I
Field.
actually, and I don't know if it's because last episode we talked about the Yankees a little bit, but I have had a lot of baseball on my For You page on my TikTok, and I learned that none of the outfields for any of the major league sports baseball teams are regulated. They kind of decide how high they want the wall to be and how big they want their outfield to be. The only regulations is for the bases inward. And I thought that was an interesting way to run a sport.
I do find that interesting because it does affect your ability to hit a home run.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the how far back they go. That's interesting. But I loved every second of it. I was going to say I've been to Rays games like on a Friday night, and there's so many empty seats. This was a Tuesday night, a random Tuesday night in Chicago, and it was packed. And people when they got a base hit, the whole stadium erupted like it was the World Series. It was just really cool to be a part of. Now there were sections where I was like entire sections that no one was sitting in. Which I moved to that section because I had an end seat. When you sit in I don't mean to say it like this, but when you sit in the poor people seats, which I was there, so I'm not talking trash about anybody. I didn't pay for the ticket. I was too poor. But I was on the end row. People just talk amongst themselves like nonstop, and they're up and down constantly. Like, oh, let me get a beer. Let me get this. Let me go to the bathroom. And I'm just
because they're not there
standing
for
up so much.
They're there for the ambiance.
I thought I was in Catholic church. I was like, I gotta move. So I moved to a different section, which is fun. And I hung out with a couple of people. One guy works for the Las Vegas paper, and another guy works for an online Pittsburgh paper, and they're all gay, and we all kind of hung out together. It was a really cool, fun experience, which is kind of cool. And then the next morning,
the whole group or just you? Like you, Ryan, and Dylan all went, or
no? Ryan and Dylan didn't go. They didn't want to go. This is classic Ryan. Are you ready for this? Sorry, Ryan. I'm going to tell a story. We decided, like early on, I said, "Hey, I'm going to this baseball game. Like, I'm going to go, whether you guys go or not, because it's a chance to go to Wrigley Field. Do you all want to go?" Ryan and Dylan were like, "No," and I said, "Okay, well, I'll give you my card, and you guys can go to dinner." Blah blah blah. Then we go to Chicago and we have lunch and we're leaving. Or no, we're leaving the conference and I'm getting ready to go to this thing. And I said, "Oh, let me give you my card." And then Ryan goes, "Oh, I have a friend in town and I'm going to dinner with my friend." And I was like, "You're gonna leave Dylan alone? Rude." And then he was like, "Oh no, Dylan, you're invited." I'm like, "That's a really great invitation." Like, "Oh yeah, by the way." So that's how Dylan ended up going to that Starbucks to drink alone because Ryan ditched him.
So did Ryan, was this a friend Ryan's known for years, or was this like an online friend?
No, I have a feeling it's somebody that he hangs out with all the time in St. Pete who just happened to be in Chicago.
Really?
I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm sure he'll tell me because he listens and then yells at me about what we say about him. So anyway, the next morning, but it was just me and some of the other people. Like they only had like 100 tickets, and I think there were 250 people at the conference. So the first 100 people got to go. But I had jumped on that because I was like, hell yes. I might even try to now go see the Cardinals play because I'm going to St. Louis next week, which we'll talk about in a minute. The other thing. So the next morning, all the gay papers all got together for breakfast, which was super cool. It was just nice to be around everybody.
Nice.
So then I get back on Wednesday.
You were in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
I do have a question because, I've been watching the news. How were you able to go out? I hear the
is it crime ridden?
Riddled with crime and war torn. I mean, it just sounds like just going from your hotel to the car sounds so dangerous. How did you make it?
Well, the other great thing that the conference did is they paired you up with a National Guard member.
Fantastic. I was hoping they would.
And everybody, that's why they could only take 100 people because they had to have 100 National Guard people too. Yeah, no, it's stupid.
Everybody had to bring their bodyguard to the ball game.
we were at the train. Everything. Come on.
Yeah.
Please. Walked around. Dylan survived. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what that meant.
I'm
of
not
all
sure
people,
appreciate
Dylan
the way
survived.
I know. Come on, if Dylan can survive.
Anyway, so then we get back, and then it's the annual Fair Villa third Thursday. You know, the third Thursdays that we always do at Fair Villa.
There's always summer. Yeah, there's a summer third Thursday that takes place at Fair Villa, aka the sex shop of Orlando.
Yeah, it's it's like the adult mega store, and it's a lot of fun. They usually give out we do a raffle and they give out bags of things, and it's really kind of cool.
And they usually set the food up in the porno room where the porn videos are. So it's a lot of good reading material when you're snacking.
Yeah. Well, it was a little different this time.
Was it
different? Yeah. I mean, I feel like the last couple of years it's been, let's just say the attendance has been light.
Yeah.
Well, I think they were tired of that and they changed the event and it became a Fair Villa Pride Night where there was shows and things going and there were lots of people. Crew Health was there. Come Out Pride was there.
Oh, okay.
So it really wasn't third Thursday. The only third Thursday part of it was we did the raffle, but it was crowded and it was a lot of fun. And Dylan won one of the sex bags.
Oh,
what
was in it?
It was a lot of handcuffs and blinds and like a paddle and some sort of.
Is Kaylin wearing some of the stuff from the bag?
Not yet. No, but if you want any of that stuff, just come to our garage sale. I promise it won't be slightly used.
Oh,
can you imagine buying slightly used sex toys? No, but it was fun.
I mean, who's slightly used sex toys?
Yeah, right. Depends on who was using that. So then, Dylan left to go to St. Pete. So I spent the next couple of days doing something that I'm so happy that I did. You watched the first season of Squid Games, right?
I did. I have not watched season 2 or 3 yet, but I have watched.
I didn't even realize there was a season 3. I just thought it was season 2. I watched them, and I love that show. I'm surprised, by the way.
I don't know why. There was a long period there where I didn't have Netflix because I was trying to save money. So I kind of cut down on my streaming services. But now I have Netflix again. So there's a lot of things. Squid Games is one of them that I want to go back and start watching again.
do yourself the favor and watch it. It was so good. I don't remember the first one being super emotional, but I was in it, man. And there were like times where I was like, like the saddest things were happening, and
Oh.
I just thought, wow, these people are good. Like like great acting, like great suspense. They change up the games a little bit, like for a very specific reason, and it was pretty cool. And like really, they did a really good job with these this time. I don't know how I feel. I'm digesting the ending of it. Have you heard anything about the last 5 seconds of
No.
season 3? All right. Well, I'm not
No,
going to tell you then.
I haven't really. I've even read up on what season 2 and season 3 are about.
It just makes you think. Like I was thinking, oh, they're wrapping up the series, and then in the last 5 seconds, I went, they didn't. They went a whole different direction,
Oh,
didn't they?
interesting.
Fascinating, but it's just really good. I don't remember it being that sad, but I really did enjoy it. Then I want to talk about. I want to give a shout out to my softball team because we had practice over the weekend, and so there's a team that I used to play for that sent me a message, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to come back to the team? Like, you could bring your brother since you want to play with him. Like, let's do this." And then I go to practice with the current team I'm at, and reminded why I love this team so much. I like the other guys too. I like them a lot, and they're really great. But we go into practice and we're warming up, and all of a sudden I hear, I'm like, what's that show? Name That Tune. I can name that tune in one note. I could name any Air Supply song in one note. And as soon as that one note hit, I was like, and then everybody in the dugout started laughing because they put Air Supply on the radio just to see my reaction. And I was like, yes. And they left it on. They played Air Supply for the entire practice. And I'm like, these are my people. They did it for me because they were all talking about my crazy love of Air Supply. And one person was like, I've never heard it before. So they played it the whole practice, and it was cool. I appreciated it. I did very well during practice and told them the only reason I did very well was because Air Supply was on, and now you have to play it for all the games. So that was cool. So shout out to them. They're a great group of guys.
Nice.
And then yesterday was the second annual Anything Goes Cabaret benefiting the Sing House Scholarship Fund.
Yes.
Remember
I recall us going
year?
to that last year. I do.
It was really good. There were some surprises that I wasn't expecting in this, and that's that they mixed it in with like the scholarship winners who are all great. I mean, it's really great because it's good. And I learned this: they pay them to do this show because they want to show them that their art is worth getting paid. So not only do they get scholarships, they get paid for this gig. To which I half jokingly said, well, I mean, are you setting the right precedent for them? Because are they going to get paid for their next gig? It is a lot of times people who are super talented get asked to do a lot of free shit in this city. So, but Janine Klein performed, and I didn't know that she was in Orlando and was going to perform it. I think she's super talented. And it's just a powerful voice, and she's fucking great, and I loved it. So she was there. She performed it good. AJ Morales came back and performed. He wasn't. I don't think he was one of the scholarship people this year, but he came back and performed. He's amazing. You are going to see him in something at some point. He's a superstar. I don't want to sound like every judge on America's Got Talent, but he's a star.
Yeah. Calm down, Paula.
Yeah. I just want to. What did she say to David Archuleta? I'll never forget it. She's like, I just want to rip your head off and eat you. That's what she told him after he performed. And he was like, ugh.
He's like, I'm gay.
I think that's what made him gay.
Yeah.
Caitlin said that she heard that David Archuleta just said that he's still open to women. Well, yeah, it's easier to be with men. They're a bunch of whores. Just kidding. She said that he said he's so interested in women, but it's easier to be with men. I think that's
why
somebody
I'm
who's
gay.
He's trying to broaden his fan base. That's all that sounds like to me. He's
like, you can listen, ladies. I still like you.
Yeah. to hang out with. We can do our hair. No, I'm just kidding. But I want to say it was hosted by Gidget Galore. And
Gidget.
I love Gidget. Gidget Galore is now my favorite. everything needs to be hosted by Gidget Galore. She's hilarious and just she's right on my kind of humor. So this guy comes out, this one of the kids, and he sings this song about Ohio, and it's like how he's, I'm gonna go to Ohio someday or something like that. I don't remember too much about it, but he walks off stage and Gidget goes, I wish I recorded this. It needs to be a GIF. Gidget's like, hey, honey, have you ever been to Ohio? And he said, no, but I really hope to. And she goes,
really? Yeah.
and she's like, no. And then she started looking at people in the audience. It's like, mm-mm. And then she'd roll her eyes and look back at it. It went on for like a minute and a half. And I was in tears laughing so hard. I just think that Gidget is brilliant. And I want Gidget to do everything in the world. Gidget's the one who, right, when we did Drag Queen Story Hour, and I wrote that book about Jen for her 50th birthday. And
she came
Gidget came in and read the children's. I wrote a children's book about Jen for her 50th birthday, and it's an embarrassing story, and it's hilarious. And then we had a party, and Gidget came over in drag and read it, and it was so good.
Oh, I forgot to tell you this. Back before I left, and I was having my yard sale, and I was putting everything out. I had just put a bunch of my books out there without even really going through them, and one of them was that book. And someone pulled it off the bookshelf and looked at me and said, "The hell is this?" And they were kind of younger, and I was like, "Do not read that. You give that to me. I shouldn't be out here."
Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Well, that's pretty much my week.
Nice.
I will say next week I go to Chicago.
No. You
not
went
Chicago.
To Chicago.
I go to St. Louis. It's a busy time.
No, Grandpa, you already did that.
I know. Next week. Oh, but I am having people at my house on Monday, so we'll have to talk about our schedule.
Oh,
I could probably
I'll
tear
come
myself
over.
away. Okay, let's do. And then, but I go to St. Louis Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday I fly to Atlanta to do a panel in Atlanta on the 6th, and then I fly back and softball season starts. Crazy, all kinds of craziness. But before all of that, we can talk about a movie we watched.
Yes, we did watch a movie.
Listen, as soon as we'll talk about. I don't like the way that you're licking your lips and biting your tongue.
It's a good movie.
I mean, about 35 minutes in, you see penis, and I said to Jen, "Jeremy's going to give this 5 grapes." So
this
let's talk.
Is by far the best movie I have seen.
Oh, look at that! I said penis, and Jeremy froze again.
You're right. I didn't notice he was frozen.
Jeremy, blink twice if you can see us. There you go. Yeah, you just had, as Caitlin said, you just had to go all Kermit on it, and then it started working. All right, so you picked this movie.
Yes. Well, Amazon Prime picked this movie,
that's
and
true.
Amazon knows me better than Netflix, apparently. So I recently got Amazon Prime again, and have been watching some movies, and it does that whole thing. I think most of the streaming services do this, where it says, "We think you'll like these movies." And the very first movie on there is a movie called Swallowed. It's a 2022 independent body horror film written and directed by Carter Smith. Now, the first thing I noticed... Oh, go ahead.
That's it. When you say body horror, I think of like the Substance.
Yes. Now, body horror is what Wikipedia calls it. The body horror of this is... Well, we'll get to what I assume they say is the body horror part of it.
Yeah, I guess for some people that is horror.
Yeah. But yes, I get what you're saying. It wasn't what you would usually think is a body horror movie.
So we decided that, but when we start this off, we're going to start with Rotten Tomatoes scores and our opinions, and then we'll jump into what we want to say about it. So what do you think Rotten Tomatoes was?
While I loved this movie, for reasons other than just the full frontal male nudity, I can recognize after watching this that this is probably one of those movies a lot of people don't like or didn't get or thought it was too weird. So I'm going to say critics 75 and audiences 70.
Critics were 82.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's better than I thought it would be.
And audience was 68. So that was kind
Aw,
of right there. I
that's-
do want to read these too. I always
That's
like to
lower,
read.
but yeah.
I find the negative reviews and I like to read them. So there's two.
Sure.
This is from a critic. Where a viewer might expect a few more layers of symbolism and subtext to enrich the film, it turns out there's not really anything here other than a juvenile desire to shock and scandalize.
That's not a negative review.
Yeah, and then yeah, right. I'm like, if somebody said this movie is a juvenile desire to shock and scandalize, I'm watching it.
Yeah, that makes me want to
but-
watch it.
And then this is the audience review, not a critic. A weird, less than ideal scenario with a good main performance overstays its welcome, though, by a lot. I did not find any of that to be true.
No, I thought the movie was perfectly paced.
I think,
And I thought all of the actors did really well.
yeah, I think if you were to say, to describe it the way that Wikipedia did, an independent body horror film, I think it was exactly that.
Yeah.
And I think that with that in mind, I'm going to at least give it 3.5 grapes, and say like it held my interest the whole way through.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm giving it 5 grapes. This is
Yeah.
honestly, and again, not just because of the male nudity. I loved everything about this movie. It is weird. It is out there.
You cannot say that you loved everything about this movie, because I'm going to point out one thing that was terrible.
Okay,
But I mean, I'll get to that. But my first note here, as soon as the movie started, my very first note is this movie was definitely filmed without air conditioning.
yes, which is funny because they go into Canada, and you would think everything is cold in Canada, but yes, it is. It definitely has a dewiness to it, a moisture.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's a drugged out, dance sweaty dewiness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's what's happening at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Is a
So the
drunk,
movie starts off,
sweaty
you've got
dance.
a pair of friends. You got Ben and you got Dom, and they're played by Cooper Koch, for I think most people know from the Netflix Menendez series.
And this is
that they did.
before, right? This came out before the Menendez thing.
It was, I think it was filmed before the Menendez thing, but it came out because it was filmed in 2022, but it came out in 2023. When did Menendez come out? 2024, maybe?
I don't know.
So yeah, probably this would have been right before, I'm guessing.
Because I would think that like maybe Ryan Murphy saw this movie and said, "Hey, this guy will show full frontal. Let's get him in my show."
I'll be honest. The Mark Patton character in this, that's how I think Ryan Murphy probably is in real life.
That is okay. That's my biggest complaint about this movie. Is
his
that,
character?
I mean, listen, man, good for you. Like, you're doing it. You filmed a movie where you get to stare at a hot guy in his underwear and make him take his clothes off. Great for you.
Take a washcloth and wash his abs.
Yeah, good
which
for
is in
you,
this
man.
movie.
But I feel like maybe Hollywood did him a disservice, right? Because he was out. Like, so first of all, Mark Patton is the lead in Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
he's the scream queen of that movie.
Yeah, and he was out, and like Hollywood hated him because he was gay, and they didn't. So he had a hard time finding work, which I think is evident. There's
an interesting documentary called Scream Queen, about his time on Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and how becoming an openly gay actor kind of sidelined his career.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking.
It's
the
a
80s,
really interesting documentary.
Right? Yeah, it's because this is the 80s, and so people didn't like the gays in the 80s, and so he had a hard time, and I get that. But it's just like so he plays like the villain in this film, and things don't go his way. I think is a very understated way of saying it. Yes. Things don't go his way, and when they don't go his way, he gets angry and screams the word "fuck." But he screams
I wrote down here the way he screams "fuck" is hilarious.
It's like there couldn't be a gay. There couldn't be a gayer way to scream that word.
He's very flamboyant through the whole thing, And I've had the pleasure of meeting Mark Patton at a Spooky Empire conference, and it's not like he's not that flamboyant in his real life. So it was a character choice.
Oh, okay.
And it cracked me up.
I
I
mean,
thought he
think
was
of this.
hilarious in this.
It's like Nathan Lane in The Birdcage, playing the bad guy in a independent horror.
Yes, it's
thing.
very over the top.
Like,
it's
he's supposed to be
very hokey.
intimidating. I mean, I guess if he didn't have a gun, people would have just laughed. But because he had a gun, they got scared.
I thought he was hilarious in this. I fucking loved it. The other person in this movie, because there's like four people who are kind of the mainstays in this. The fourth one is Jenna Malone, who plays the girlfriend of one of the guy's cousins, who sets them up with this drug deal. In the beginning of the movie, you think that they're being set up to take drugs across the border from Canada into the U.S.
Yeah. You know, I thought she was like Laura Dern territory for me, but I didn't mind her in this.
I've seen her in specifically three things that come to mind. She was in this. She was in one of the Hunger Game movies. I think it was Catching Fire, the second one. And she was the little girl in Stepmom. She's the same bitchy attitude girl in all three movies. And I realized she's the little girl with the attitude. She always has this "I hate you and I'm better than you" attitude in all of her characters.
Yeah.
And I was like, after so many characters like that, I started to think that probably is just how you are.
It was the third and fourth Hunger Games that she was in, right? Because there were four of them. And she was one of the winners from a previous thing that came back to have to play again. And I did not like her in that.
No, because she plays the same character.
It does seem to fit.
So the way that the movie starts off is Ben, who's Cooper coach, he is going to LA to become a porn star, to chase his dreams. They
talk about him becoming a movie star for the first 45 minutes, and then they tell you,
yeah. So you think he's going to LA to become a movie star, but he's actually going to become a porn star. So his friend Dom, who is straight, but is actually, I think, in love with Ben, wants to get him. He's like, I want to give you like a going away gift, and I want to get you some money. So he arranges to do a drug deal that his cousin organizes with her girlfriend named Alice.
Now, I do want to say here, Jeremy, I think that you and I are pretty good friends.
Sure.
We worked together for 10 years. We were roommates. We did this podcast together.
Absolutely.
And I feel like after watching this, I need to apologize to you. When you told me that you were moving to New York, I did not set up a drug deal to help you with money. And I feel bad about that. So I'm going to see.
I mean,
the next time you're in Orlando, let me know. And we'll arrange some drugs.
Technically, I did take my 401k money to come up here, and some would say that the way that we handle retirement is like a drug deal in this country. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. I feel less horrible now.
So they go and they've got these. Basically, what Alice wants them to do is she's put the drugs into condoms, and she wants them to swallow the condoms so that they can get across the border without, because if it's in a box, they find it, then they get confiscated.
They looked like soup dumplings, not condoms.
I thought it was like balls of mashed potatoes to me until later in the movie when they're removing them. Then I was like, oh, those are condoms.
I never saw condoms.
Go back. You can see the little balloon knot as they pull them out of the little balloon.
There are some flaws in this storyline, and I'm gonna say the first one is I wanted you to have money, so I made this drug deal happen. And I'm not gonna tell you about it until we get there and there's a gun in our face. Yeah.
So the whole thing, it's a very weird, I feel like there was an easier way to do this, but they swallow the condoms, they go across the border, and then they go to a rest stop, and they wait there, or they're supposed to wait there until they poop them out.
I mean, I don't think it. We all know that when you eat something, it takes about 12 hours for it to find its way through.
Yes.
Right? So they eat these things, and in a couple of hours, they're supposed to get them rid of them. Look, flaw like number two. The second flaw in all of this is take some fucking laxatives. Or eat cabbage soup. Like
something.
it speeds the process up.
Now they don't, and they do this a lot with movies. They don't specify how. It's not like they went right across the border and they're like, "Oh, it's a 5-minute ride." They don't specify how far away this rest stop is. So maybe it's hours. I don't know. They don't really specify the amount of time. So I was thinking, maybe it's you're driving a while. I don't know. But they get there, and he's like, "I'm gonna go try and take a shit." And while they're at this rest stop, a big old burly redneck pulls up in his truck.
Do you know what his name is in the credits?
No.
It's Randy Redneck.
Oh, Randy Redneck pulls up in his truck. And Ben has gone he goes into the bathroom, and he's talking with Dom. And he's like, man, what are you doing? And he's getting all nervous. And this redneck comes in and he's like, what are y'all, queers? And Dom comes out of the toilet and he gets him and Randy Redneck go back and forth. And Randy Redneck punches him in the stomach.
Which they could have avoided if Dom had such an attitude about everything.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's his fault that everything happened.
Well, he's the one who set it up, so yeah.
So the redneck leaves, and Dom starts having issues with his stomach. And they're like, "Oh shit, I think something happened with the drugs." So one thing leads to another. His pants are off.
He takes his pants off.
He comes walking out
because he's given birth to a condom that's moving, right? So
we haven't gotten to that part yet. We don't know
when his pants. When did his pants come off? They came off in the. He took them off.
Right, his pants came off in the bathroom, and then he walks out naked
because he saw the thing.
A very large wiener. I'm just gonna say it. He's very well endowed. He has a very nice one.
The other thing is it would have looked a lot bigger if maybe, just maybe, he had trimmed back like 5 inches of the 30 inches of hair that were coming from his midsection.
It wasn't that bad.
It was the 70s down there.
You know what? Some people don't have a problem with hair. So
I don't. But everyone has a problem with that much.
I thought it looked lovely. If you're listening,
it was like
Cologne,
Simba down there. It was like
lovely.
The lion's mane. Just
so anyway,
which made sense to me.
He passed one of the condoms, and it's moving. The drugs inside it are moving. So they're like, these don't look like any drugs I've ever seen. So Alice shows back up, and we find out that the condoms are not filled with drugs. The condoms are filled with eggs from bugs that I guess secrete a secretion that gets you high.
Yeah. When they bite you, it's like this intense high.
Yeah,
but only
and it paralyzes
only when they first hatch. So it's important that they don't hatch before they get to the dealer.
Yes, but when they bite you get the high, but it paralyzes you, but you still feel everything. So our boy Dom is now numb from the waist down because the bugs have hatched and are biting on his insides.
But he doesn't look numb from the waist down.
No, because we learn later in the movie that it is an excellent way to get hard and stay hard. It's Viagra, basically. It keeps you hard for hours.
It's a 9-hour Viagra. So, but also, it doesn't just make you excited. It apparently makes it grow. So he gets him into the back seat, and they don't even acknowledge this. They don't acknowledge that the guy's naked, and then they flip back to him, and he's got his junk in his hand. He's
harding his rock hard junk in his hand.
That's what I looked at. I was like, is he hard? And I was like, you know what? Jerry's going to answer that because he'll go back and watch that part over and over
He sure was. He sure was.
And then they showed it again, and it was like 10 times the size, wasn't it?
It was like down to his knee.
And all they said about it was, "Oh, it must be a side effect." And then they kept going on, like no, let's address what's happening here. I mean, the guy has got an elephant trunk between his legs now.
He sure did. So, they are going to the hospital, but Alice decides to take them on a detour first to her boss's house, who turns out to be Mark Patton, and his name is Rich. So they get there, and Rich shows up, and he he is very flamboyant. He is a very flamboyant gay man, and he takes the gun from Alice, and he's like, "You need." Well, Alice first starts it, but then he continues it. They've got Dom on the floor, and they got a jar of Vaseline, and Benjamin has to lube up his hands, and he has to get in there and pull. This is the body horror part. He has to dig out the condoms.
No pun intended, but this is another plot hole. He passed one of them, like it was dark outside, and he passed one of them. Now he ate all of them at the same time, so he would pass all of them at the same time. It's not like it's condoms, not corn.
I don't know how fast condoms filled with bug larva passes in one system. And he didn't eat them all at one time. He ate some of them. Then he went and checked on his cousin.
In a couple of minutes.
And then he came back. I don't know how well his digestive system. Also, as somebody who has been constipated before, once you pass one, maybe his ass was like, "What the fuck?" and then tightened up.
That's true.
Or
maybe
I've
it's
been there.
So then what happens is like the bad guy's getting ready to show up, and Alice is like, "We got to get those out now." So here's the Vaseline. Get in there and get them out. So
he's down there digging.
Yeah, I mean, what we're talking elbow deep? Like he reached in to his stomach.
I will say, if you're gonna call yourself a body horror, you got to show some of it. They only show him from the front. You don't see how deep he goes in. You want body horror? Show me how far he went.
Yeah, and I did watch this with subtitles.
Okay, cool.
And I hope that they just copy and pasted the word groaning, because that's 90% of the dialogue is just groaning. Once this guy gets punched in the stomach, everything is groaning.
Once he read the script, I'm sure he was like, "Cool." After page 7, all my lines are groaning.
Yeah, as I'm sorry and I'm sorry.
So just running along here, the bugs did some damage. So Ben is sitting there with Dom, who is slowly dying. Rich takes Alice outside, and you hear a gunshot.
You just shocked Caitlin. She thought he was just high. She wasn't aware he was dying.
Oh,
at this point, he is just high.
Spoiler alert, Caitlin.
But what happens is another one of them breaks, and he gets bit again, so he ODs.
Yeah, so he did.
Now,
as he's dying, Ben leans down and kisses him. And as he pulls away the light from the window behind, there's a long string. I think this is part of the body horror. A long string of saliva. But it's not like they kiss and there's a little. It's like he kept pulling away, and it just kept getting longer and longer. And it never did. It did not disconnect until they cut to another angle. It was just the longest string of saliva between two men's lips I've ever seen.
The director probably said, "Oh, that's gold. Like, keep it. Like don't cut.
Keep going.
So
keep going. Like, there you go."
I want to describe this for you though. So you ever watch a TV show where like I don't know, somebody gives birth and they pull the baby out, and they don't want to be totally gross, but they want to be somewhat like, hey, this is realistic. So there's like a little something on the baby's forehead here and here. So that's how they want to be. Now, first of all, I just want to say that another plot hole in this. They were out drinking, right, the whole night before they went and did this. So whatever's inside there, it's not coming out clear. It's just not. The guy wasn't prepping for a colonoscopy, so it's not coming out clear. So he reaches in and pulls these condoms out, and then you see little somethings on his arm.
You see the Vaseline. All you see is the Vaseline.
But there wasn't poop, but there was like something that wasn't clear, little specks here and there, because I think they wanted to give the idea of like, hey, he was in here, and so then you were just all the way up in there, right? And now you come out. Not once did he go to the bathroom. Not once did he wash his hands. And then he decides, I was just inside your stomach, and now here we are embracing. So I'm going to cup your face with my shit hand that was just up your ass, and then kiss you, because that's the moment to decide true love. And then
listen, he is near death's door. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I just described this horrifically gross butt touching thing. And then Caitlin's reaction to that was, he died.
Yeah. He did.
Yeah, he died. He for sure died.
It was very touching and it was very sad. And Rick's making a big joke about it, but it was very heartbreaking.
It was Oscar worthy.
It was horrible to watch this poor man go through that. And maybe the bugs like eating shit, and that's why no shit came out. Maybe the bugs inside of him ate all his shit.
Jeremy, this just made me think so much of our friendship. And I just want to ask you this.
Yeah.
If you ever have to reach inside my ass and pull drugs out, please wash your hands before you touch my face. Even if I'm about to die, just do me that. Do me that solid.
Yeah. I'm going to get them out of there, and I'm going to hold the back of your head, and I'm going to be like, and just rub my hand all over your face.
You're going to die anyway.
Like, yeah, smear it in. So Rich comes back in, and he's killed Alice, and then he's like, she came at me with a knife. And I was like, did she? I think you probably made that up there, Rich boy.
Yeah, that's just a really creepy part of the movie too, is because Alice is in there and the two guys are in there, and he's like, oh well, we need to get the rest of these and everything, and he's like, oh, aren't these two nice looking young men? And then he looks at Alice and goes, you can leave now. Yeah, I've got it from here. I'm like,
pervy. So he comes back in, and then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, your friend died. Time to get your bugs out. I'm gonna run you a hot bath, and I'm gonna get you a drink. You take your clothes off, and we'll get all comfortable, and I'll take care of you. So
does that make you poop? A hot bath?
Yes.
Okay.
It's called yeah.
I mean, I was asking the bath expert, so yeah.
It's called a Sith bath. They actually have you do hospital have you do that if you've got constipation. If you sit in a warm bath, it will help you poop.
I imagine that Chris is laying on the couch going,
or he's going, Jesus Christ, I can't get away from this loud bitch.
Well, why did he move to the living room?
So yeah, it gets real creepy, but and God help me for thinking this. As he's sitting, he's got the gun. He's like, yeah, I'm going to run you a bath. My first thought was, oh my God, are we going to get to see his penis too? And sure enough, he strips down naked and he stands there in all his glory. And we get to see his penis too.
Now, for all the gay men listening to this, I just want to point out, I was shocked at the amount of hair that the gay man who's going to do gay porn as a life had. I just thought maybe
he had any hair.
Are you kidding?
What, are you looking for someone with alopecia?
We watched different videos, I guess. I have never seen that much hair on a crotch.
He looked perfect. Caitlin, you pull that movie up now and you look. It was perfectly fine.
Please do that, not in my presence.
Anyway, he is a gorgeous man.
He is a gorgeous man. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's uncut. For those who haven't seen the movie, he is he is uncircumcised.
Oh, is that what that was?
That is what that was. The little turtleneck he had over it.
Maybe I didn't look.
That
I was
wasn't
so distracted
hair.
by
It was skin.
by the mountain of hair. I'm just so surprised. That's all.
I'm surprised that you thought that was a lot of hair. It's not a whole lot.
Now I'm going to start showing people, and I'm going to ask.
All right, get a photo of it. I want you to go around and ask everybody in the office.
Well,
get all of your employees together.
You know, I'm even going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to go to like Barcode,
okay,
or a place like and just sort of show. You know what I mean? Like at a place where, like, you know, let's say, you know, a former employee of Watermark now dances at Barcode. So
do they?
People people would be more likely to think that, you know, that's probably not a lot of hair, because he's like, except for that region, he's hairless, which I thought was weird because it was so much. But anyway, that's not a point of this review.
Well, not for me. Your entire review is about the amount of hair on people. So as Rich lets his guard down, Benjamin is able to get the upper hand on him, and he escapes. He gets out of there, And he has a pair of tweezers he found in the bathroom, and he stabs him in the neck.
By the way, he's just wearing whitey tighties and a fringe leather jacket. This is what he's wearing as he escapes.
And sneakers as he runs through the woods.
Oh, that's true. He got
sneakers. His sneakers on.
You need those running through the woods.
So he gets back to the hut after he throws Alice's body. There's an outhouse out there, and he throws Alice's body down the hole of the outhouse, which is just gross. So while he's out in the woods, he passes his own bugs, and he decides he's going to get revenge on good old Rich by letting one of the bugs bite him.
I like how you just gloss over this thing. This guy's just sitting out there in the woods and only goes, "Ooh," and then reaches into his whitey tighties and pulls out a
he got the bugs out.
full of bugs.
Do you want me to give step-by-step details about how he got this? Caitlin's already grossed out.
I think you need to describe to people why you gave this 5 stars. Yes, detail.
So he's out by a waterfall. It's very romantic, actually. And he's got his legs up and his knees up in his chest. So he gets the bugs out, and then he sneaks up behind Rich, and he wrestles the gun away from him. And then holding Rich gunpoint while he's straddling him, by the way.
Rich did not mind any of this.
No. Rich was like, yeah, do some more. So he lets the bug bite him, makes Rich go numb. He goes paralyzed from the bug bite. So, but remember, he can still feel everything. So while he's still feeling everything but paralyzed, he dumps his body down the outhouse along with Alice's, which is a horrible way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be a shitty way to die. And then
a lot of duty humor in this show.
Yeah, well, if any movie is warranted for duty humor, this is definitely the movie.
Well, that's what I mean. I was talking about the movie.
This movie gets 5 turds from me. And then he gets the money and the jacket, and he takes the car, and he I forgot this part because I love this part. He takes Dom's body and he takes it to the river where he passed the bugs, and they sit in the water and he washes his body, which was very romantic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the movie
romantic
ends.
Is the word I was thinking of.
And over the credits, we learn that Benjamin has gone to LA and he's a successful porn star, and he's on the red carpet.
And what is
his porn awards?
And what's his porn star name?
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't write it down. What was his porn star name?
It's Benjamin Dom. He took Dom's last name.
Oh, see? That's
romantic.
So romantic.
That's love.
This is, you know what? They call it a body horror. I call it a romantic drama.
It's a rom-com, really.
It's my favorite rom-com of the year. And that's how it ends. Ben got what he wanted at the expense of Dom.
Yeah.
So sad.
I gotta say though, I think you need to watch this movie. I don't like horror movies, and this was not a horror movie at all to me. It was actually interesting.
It's more of like a thriller, I would say.
Yeah, it was like a thriller.
Yeah.
It was interesting. It was like like any like mob thriller or any drug sort of thing. I thought it was going to be some alien thing, but once you found out that was actually just drugs. And then it was. I don't know. I found it it was butt drugs. I found it very interesting. I think it's worth a watch.
Yeah. I will definitely be watching this again, specifically because I know Chris has been listening to this whole thing, and I know he wants to watch it now. I just know it.
I want Chris's opinion. After you watch it, I want Chris to text me and tell me whether they both had too much pubic hair. Let's just call it what it is.
I will have him check and say, I mean, we are grown-ups here.
Are we?
It was pubic hair on his penis and balls. So that's it. That's all I have to say about that.
I mean, that's just penis and balls. That's how every podcast should end.
Absolutely. But we'll be back next week. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
We'll see how my internet's working next week. But until then, the cork is back in the bottle.